And let me just make it clear for the majority leader that 10 out of the poorest 25 counties in the United States of America are located in Kentucky. So maybe my colleague, the majority leader, might want to get on the phone and start talking to working families in Kentucky and find out how they feel about the need for immediate help in terms of a $2,000 check per adult. And I have the strong feeling that the people of Kentucky will respond no differently than the people of Vermont or New York.
So that was Bernie Sanders absolutely roasting Mitch McConnell in the Senate today over his opposition to the $2,000 stimulus check bill supported by Bernie and the Democrats and by Donald Trump himself. And he notes specifically that you're not just hurting the working class people all over the United States, but you're specifically causing harm to your own people in Kentucky. Mitch McConnell is Senate Majority Leader, but he is one of the two senators from Kentucky. And as Bernie notes, 10 of the 25 poorest counties in the entire United States are in Kentucky. There are 50 states, and 40% of the poorest 25 districts are in one of those states, Kentucky. And that means that in many ways, Kentucky is one of the poorest, most unequal states in all of the country, with poor education and opportunity outcomes for many working class people in that state. And so while this matters to every working class person, and while a majority of people would stand to benefit in every state, states like Kentucky and other conservative states in the South may benefit more than many states like Vermont and other northern bluer states. And I think what this shows is that the senators that represent a lot of conservative areas don't actually represent the interests of their people. And look, I think corporate Democrats don't really represent the interest of their people either. Dianne Feinstein and, all of these neoliberal ghouls from the Democrats, they don't represent the people of their states, but especially people like Mitch McConnell. They know their people are poor. They know their people are hungry. They know their people have bad educations. They know their people have all of these lack of opportunities, even in comparison to other Americans, and they don't care because they want their tax cuts for the rich, they want their conservative judges, and nothing else matters. And so Bernie is drawing the line very clear here. Mitch McConnell, who has complained about blue state bailouts and how the red states are helping the blue states during the COVID pandemic and what have you, the chips are actually down right now. These $2,000 stimulus checks disproportionately will have a bigger impact in the reddest states. States like Kentucky, the state that elected Mitch McConnell. Again, this is masterful politics by Bernie because he really does this in a way that is not condescending. Because often when Democrats attack red states for being poor, they do so in a way that feeds into stereotypes. Like they do it and then they talk about quote unquote trailer trash, or they talk about quote unquote hicks, or they talk about quote-unquote people that marry their cousins, and they feed into these ugly classist stereotypes. Whereas Bernie is making it very clear. There are working class people struggling in these states, working hard, doing everything they can to survive, and the people representing them are failing. And that's Mitch McConnell. He is failing his own people. And it's unacceptable. And it's also masterful politics from Bernie because earlier on in this meeting, before this, he basically blew up the tweet of Trump and put it on the Senate floor saying, look, I'm not a big ally of Donald Trump, but he's right here and he's exposing his own Republican Party's hatred of the working class. I'm going to play that clip just real quick.
Deserve help and they deserve a $2,000 check. And as Senator Schumer just indicated, we have a very unlikely ally in President Trump. Nobody here has disagreed with Trump more times than I have. And yet here is what the leader of the Republican Party says. He says $2,000 ASAP. So
ultimately, guys, Bernie Sanders is fighting for the working class more than anyone else. He's not the only one. I've been pleasantly surprised by Chuck Schumer being on the floor, helping with this, Ed Markey as well. There are, of course, a lot of good Democrats in the House like AOC and so many others. But once again, when the working class needs a champion, who's the one first front row center? It's Bernie Sanders. I can tell you one thing. It's a good thing Joe Biden beat Donald Trump, but it's a tragedy that that man won't be president.